First, we learn from an indictment handed up by Special Counsel Robert Mueller that Russia successfully pulled off a massive information warfare campaign, infiltrating our society, pitting American against American, and sedulously working to advance their favored candidates in our election, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. In a national contest that was close, decided by fewer than 100,000 ballots in 3 counties, it is implausible to believe that Russia had no effect on at least some voters. Second, we have Parkland. 17 dead children. Sheer horror. The President of the United States stands with a thumbs up and his broadest grin, as if the first responders with whom he is posing for a photograph had just come in first in a race and won a prize. Does he know where he is? Why he is there? Were the searing questions asked by the conservative radio host Charlie Sykes. Both stories are linked. They are linked by the president himself, who with the graves at Parkland still fresh has been exploiting the massacre for his personal purposes. Very sad, he tweeted, that the FBI missed all of the many signals sent out by the Florida school shooter. This is not acceptable. They are spending too much time trying to prove Russian collusion with the Trump campaign. There is no collusion. Get back to the basics and make us all proud. We have a president whose shamelessness continues to hit new and previously unimagined moral bottoms. It is this individual who has solemnly sworn to preserve, protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. It is this president to whom we have entrusted the task of protecting our electoral system from further Russian intrusion. By all accounts, on that front he is doing either nothing or worse than nothing. What do his supporters have to say when we see Trump at his most depraved moments? So far, most of them, at least in the intellectual world, have been silent. That is their characteristic mode when Trump is transgressive. Their ardor seldom goes towards celebrating their man. Most often their energy is employed to defend him, but not quite directly. Their main focus is denigrating his detractors. If Trump is trashing the Steele dossier, they join along. If Trump is trying to discredit the FBI, they follow suit. If Trump is attempting to undermine the credibility of Special Counsel Mueller, they help out. If Trump is bashing the media, they bash it along with him. One could pick from many examples, but one of Trump's most faithful adherents in this monkey see, monkey do routine is Lee Smith, a prolific writer for publications like Tablet and The Federalist, whose work has also appeared in the New York Times and the New Republic, and who has authored a well-regarded book on the Middle East, The Strong Horse, Power, Politics, and the Clash of Arab Civilizations. To Smith, the Steele dossier check. It is nonsense. Recognizably the kind of patter that locals in closed or semi-closed societies engage in to impress expats, the kind of thing you hear in a bar, or on the cab ride from the airport to the hotel. To Smith, the FBI check. The Bureau has been subverted by Trump's enemies. It exploited a FISA warrant to surveil not only the campaign aide Carter Page, but anyone in contact with Page. In other words, writes Smith, the warrant was a backdoor giving the FBI access to spy on the entire Trump campaign. To Smith, Special Counsel Mueller check. It's hard to describe Mueller's team as impartial. His dream team of investigators, celebrated by Twitter legions of newly minted left-wing law and order nuts and Russia-phobes, is rife with Clintonites. To Smith, the media check. It's filled with fake news. Last year's real top story is how the American press became a woozy facsimile of Pravda. The media, Smith writes, spent last year running pieces about Trump and Russia that are almost immediately falsified, then updated with clarifications, or corrected, or retracted, and then are vanished down the memory hole with no institutional accountability or apparent concern for truth. The mystery here is why any intellectual would want to go down the road of spouting demonstrable drivel. Whatever one makes of the Steele report, it was not used by the FBI as a backdoor way to spy on the entire Trump campaign. That is not even an allegation that Trump or his flakes and lawyers are leveling. Whatever one thinks of the American press, it can't simultaneously be faulted for making mistakes and then clarifying, correcting or retracting them. The kicker for me is that this Trumpian conservative has made his hero the far-left Israel-bashing journalist, Glenn Greenwald, of Edward Snowden fame. Smith distances himself from some of Greenwald's views, for example, calling his obsessive hatred of Israel gross. But Smith, writing in December, goes on to say that for his efforts at blasting American media bias, Greenwald is the only American journalist who truly merits a Pulitzer Prize this year. There is something deeply wrong with our intellectual life that this kind of writing, based upon only snippets of reality, aimed at creating an alternative political universe, and done in the service of a depraved president and a despicable cause, is taken seriously in any quarters at all. Schoenfeld, a senior advisor to the 2012 Romney presidential campaign, is the author of Among other books, Necessary Secrets, National Security, The Media, and The Rule of Law. Send a letter to the editor. Join the conversation. Facebook tweet.